Yep, so this is Oakland Cemetery Board meeting, March 26, 3 p.m. Kara Groff. Here. Dennis Murray Sr. is absent. Brett Ninke.
Here.
Steve Toth.
Here.
Kevin Zier.
Present.
And then we have our Finance Director, Michelle Reeder, Superintendent Scott Cromer, and I'm Elizabeth.
Thank you. Minutes were circulated, is that of the September meeting?
Yes.
Would someone like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
I motion to approve them.
Thank you.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved, thank you. 2024 financial statement. Michelle.
All right, guys. This was also circulated to you. This is a report as of the end of 2024. Top of the report, if you look over all the way to the right, it shows where we actually landed in 2024 for revenue. The total revenue was just over $110,000 last year. The area that we saw an increase substantially was in the sale of the lots. That's kind of a number. We never know what it's going to be from year to year. So that came in at $42,000 last year. Previously in 2023, that was just over $30,000. So $110,000 was taken in revenue last year. Jumped down to the expenses. We expended $430,766. So that is up. One of the reasons that has increased in 2024 is we did have a union employee that moved into the cemetery, and per the union contract, their wages go based on years of service. So the employee that moved over there cost us a little bit more in wages than what we've seen previously. You'll see that the wages and fringe benefits is $308,163 in 2024. Previously in 2023, we were at $295,000. So just a slight increase there. Materials and supplies is the other area you'll see an increase compared to 2023. That is due to the upkeep, the maintenance, the road repairs, and items that they're trying to, long-term maintenance, I guess, issues that they're trying to catch up on at the cemetery. So they expended 93% of what we budgeted for the year for the cemetery. So we had budgeted $462,000 in expenses, and they ended the year at $430,766. The bottom of this report just gives you the available cash and all the endowment funds. Every endowment fund is in a positive balance, so that's a good thing. And that's where we ended for the year. Happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Just a question regarding available cash, and looking at the list of the mausoleums that we have, that's budgeted to maintain them if necessary?
Yes.
Okay. Any of them in really bad shape? Or
Yeah, I actually got some quotes on a few of the personal mausoleums to come in and pressure wash.
Okay.
And then point tuck all the joints and any caulking that may be needed, and then come back and reseal everything. So
Okay.
I did that, I believe, on 3 of them.
Okay.
So slowly we're gonna do
So many
couple,
per year, kind of
yeah.
budgeted, that's a great
as
idea.
needed to. I mean, there's a few there that are really in bad condition that I've noticed, so.
Okay. We sold $42,000 worth, actually, yeah, $42,000 in lots, right? 2024. Any idea how many lots are remaining? Or are we still
I know we get,
determining if we're gonna expand here or there?
we get that question, I mean, everybody, but I think some of the things that we've done as far as double depth now is available, which wasn't maybe 20 years ago, that we don't have a lot of them, but we also have utilized the multiple burials on one space with the niche, so you can have up to 3, whether it's 3 cremations
Yeah.
or 2 bodies and a cremation. So a lot of people have been taking advantage of that over the I would say the last 5 to 10 years.
How many
So-
double depths do you have? Any idea?
We just performed one, actually.
Okay.
And that's the first one that I've been involved
And
with.
those are
probably the
full
body double
full
depth.
body though.
And that was the first one that we performed in probably the last 5, 6 years.
So it's 10 feet down, 12 feet down?
Well, I would say it's probably about 7.
Okay.
And then, yeah, you got your second one.
Okay.
So there's.
I remember
there's
we discussed that back in the
Yeah.
day, as a member.
There's a foot in between, and then, yeah, the other one sits on top because you got the,
We also talked about burying them this way instead.
I was not involved in that one.
You need some duct tape, I think. All right. Okay, any other questions?
Nope.
All right, why don't we have a motion to approve this financial report and thank Michelle for her hard work in putting this together.
Thank you, Michelle. I'll make a motion to approve the financial statement as submitted.
I can go ahead and second.
Thank you, Karen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Michelle, that's, I know it's a lot of work, so, thank you much. All right, old business.
So just the old business operations update. So we did, obviously, we talked about the chapel and a few of the things that we've done there. We've got carpet put in, the painting of the ceiling. We've got the detail work completed now. It really looks nice. The front doors, we got refurbished at Milky's here locally, and those just got put back in. So there's a few tweaks we got to do with that because the gap for the closing is not as tight as I'd like it to be. Not so much of a problem with, in the summertime, but it also does leave insects in cold weather in the winter. So we've got to figure that one out. But no, it's really looks good. So you guys are more than welcome to stop in anytime. I know the funeral places have utilized it, and I think they could fill you in if you haven't seen it, that it really.
It looks very nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
it really stands out.
It's a classic, no question. The doors, you say they don't meet, is that?
It seems like at the top, the gap is maybe an inch,
Okay.
and then at the bottom, it's a little bit tighter. So we're gonna work with Milky and see if there's anything we can do to kind of tighten that up. And
They
then
weren't new doors, they were just.
They're the
refurbished.
original old doors, yep. They were
Okay.
stripped because they were starting to peel.
Yep.
The lacquer on them was starting to fade and peel and not look really good, so.
Okay.
And then we've, I know we talked about it, but down below, we put that storage barn in and that's all paved. We had sewer department come in and run storm drains to drain it well, and we did some blacktopping around it. So it's a lot easier for operation, doesn't track the mud, so it's really worked out nice.
Looks great.
You
And
seen
for
it?
moving
Yeah.
trucks in and around for
Yeah.
us. Yep.
Try to make the curves.
Great improvement
Yep, the
for
corners,
getting to the barn. Yep.
tried to, the radiuses, tried to make it bigger because the trucks are bigger nowadays, so when we do it, we kind of dig out, put a base in and kind of make it a more gradual radius, so,
It was a nice improvement for us.
thank you. Oh, and one other thing is we did have some LED lighting put in
I was
for,
gonna ask.
yeah, for energy savings. We had a couple at the chapel put in that shine on the chapel. There were some old ones that we replaced with LED. Lighting, a few lighting, I think, around the chapel on the backside or underneath in the basement. We had some in the lighting on the barn and the shop, and then we also did some at the house, so.
Okay. Any other electrical issues around the cemetery?
I don't think so, no. We've addressed all the little.
Water issues?
So water, we, that was in one of my bullet points here was, we had some quotes for a contractor to come in because our water system has sprung leaks and we were losing a lot of water, costing us money. So we shut it off last year and people were using the barn or our shop as a water fill. So we had a company come in, water department ran from a water valve in the back entrance by Columbus Ave, ran one spigot to the corner, and then we had a contractor directional bore a line all the way down that road to we got one to the chapel, but one to the mausoleum. So there's 4 spigots down that road to the mausoleum where people can get water now. And then we have one that we ran from the house to the chapel, right next to the chapel. So we got one at the front and one in the back. And then the plan is over time, I'd like to sprout out from that and maybe put in a spigot or 2 each year, depending on budget and what we can afford, so.
Was it lead pipes that were breaking, or?
It was galvanized, it was copper, it was plastic, it was all just a hodgepodge of different material, yeah. So the staff has removed all the spigots, so you're not gonna see any of the old spigots there, but the ones that are orange or reddish color along the back, those are all the new ones.
Okay.
So we're gonna put some signs up that identify the spigots and what
Great.
they are, so. Because we did get a lot of complaints on that, about people not having water access, so.
Any issues with the usage of the Columbus Avenue entrance or exit?
Just when we shut down for the water line
Okay.
to do that, but no, we haven't had any issues with people cutting through or that, nope.
All right, no more theft of,
No more
that's
theft.
good.
We have not, knock on wood.
All right, anybody have any questions for Scott? Anything else?
We did,
I'm sorry.
forestry staff did 5 tree removals in-house of trees that were really hazardous and dangerous, so they did that through the wintertime. So stumps are there, we're gonna get those ground out here in the next month, and then they'll work with cemetery staff to put reseed. And I'm just guessing here, we did get as you can see by the sales, we've got a lot of graves that we have to tamp and reseed, so we're gonna try to get those.
Settling still,
Yeah, we're gonna try to get those settled or tamped out and reseed it, and that way when spring comes, it's free water, so hopefully.
how about employees? You're gonna hire anybody for the summer?
Yeah, we'll have seasonal staff. We had seasonal college and high school kids, so we have a mixture. I reached out to a couple that can come early, so we're ready for the parade. They'd like to come back, so we're in the process of getting them ready to come back.
Okay.
So,
Good deal. Anything else? Appreciate your report.
Yep.
How about new business? Which we always want. You don't, the city doesn't do any advertising for sales, do they, or graves?
not at the moment, no. I mean, we have it on our website,
Yeah.
the cemetery, but yeah, we don't.
Any changes in any of the regulations that we talked about last year? No?
As far as, what,
No. Just some of the complaints that people brought in about the way things were being done, and they wanted some changes, and I didn't think there was any, but.
not that I know of,
The
no.
only change we made that you all approved and then commission approved was for the main change was the buyback that.
Right.
Can take back grave unused spaces, and that, I think we've only had one circumstance where that has been utilized since then, but the family that was able to take advantage of that change was very happy.
Good.
And grateful, yeah.
Anything else?
We have not gotten any more requests for, I think you guys all kind of commented on the memorial headstones or monuments for people that aren't actually buried there, but would like a place to come and, have a spot with their family or to pray or whatever they'd like to do there, memorialize them. So we have not gotten any more than the one that we brought to you guys about, so.
Okay.
That's the only change that I can think that was brought up.
Very well, thank you. I see our next meeting is June 25th. All right,
At the chapel,
At the chapel.
At the chapel.
that'll be fun.
yes. I figured it was better to wait till the weather might be a little nicer, in case we want to walk around.
Okay, well, how about a motion to adjourn then?
A motion that we adjourn?
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
You can second.
We are
Anyone?
duly adjourned at